Neewer sent me the new Q6, but if you saw my unboxing on Instagram,
I wake up, knowing I'm me, knowing I'm him, knowing I'm P. I wake up.
pretty sturdy, you'd see that I did not get a trigger to go with it. Now, I couldn't wait to test it out, so I told the team at Neewer that I could probably use the slave mode or function to trigger the light. The downside is that I'd have to actually walk to the light to adjust its power, but I thought it would be a nice, fun, albeit crude experiment as well. Now the Q6 comes in a nice, firm and compact carry case. The light itself has a Bowens mount, but also includes a 7-inch detachable reflector, which is built into the kit. To start the shoot, I wanted to create a soft painterly portrait and demonstrate how size and positioning matter in studio photography. I will first set my camera to 1/125 f2.8 on the aperture and ISO 100. This just ensures I don't have a lot of ambient light influencing my scene. Without any lights, this is what I get. Now before doing that, I'll set my Speedlight to 1/4 power and bounce it into the ceiling. This creates a soft light but lacks direction, which in my opinion makes it look flat and boring. I like to add depth to my images by introducing intentional shadows, and this also helps me shape my model properly. I'll reset the flash to the lowest power, which is 1/256 on the one I have, because I want to use it as a trigger just to communicate with the Neewer Q6, which I have set to slave mode, remember? Now before I modify the Q6, I want to show you what I mean by the quality of light. What I'm going to do is go back to the lowest setting on the flash, which is 1/256. And then I will take another shot again, just so you see that we've been able to cancel out. Even though you're seeing the flash pop up in the video, it's not going to be influencing our shot. Okay, so now that we have that established, what I want to do is turn on the Neewer light. Okay, and it was set to 1/64. I think this is going to be quite harsh, but again, let me just take it and then you guys will see what we get. In this case, the light is being modified with the 7-inch reflector, which is a very small modifier compared to my model, and this will create harsh quality of light. You can see it from the punchy highlights, the deep and defined shadows, and the lack of gradual transition between highlights and shadows. Placing a large modifier on the light should improve the quality, but the position also needs to be intentional. For example, if I place the light so that the model sits like in the middle or directly in front of it, we'll get split lighting, and some of that light will also hit the backdrop, which isn't what I want in this case. Okay, so now that we have removed the reflector from the Neewer, and I said it's Bowens, so it should fit on this Bowens softbox that I have, and once it clicks in place, just need to put it on the stand. Another thing I want you to note is where your light is coming from, right? So even though this is a modifier and it's shaping the light the way we want, we also want to be sure or exact in terms of the light placement. So if I put it somewhere here, it's not going to be flattering. And the reason is we have some of the light behind here, and then we have some in front of here. So it means that there's going to be a spill on the backdrop. But remember I said I want to control the light, and I want to make sure it's lighting the areas that I want it to light. And that's the most important thing about doing studio photography. You are in control of where your light is coming from, and so you need to take your time to position your lights, as that is what's going to shape the image that you're capturing. So I'm going to slide this forward, and by doing this, I'm just using more or less like the edge of it to light her up, and then all of this is spilling in front of her and wrapping around. So instead of using half of the softbox to light her like I did earlier, now I'm using almost the entire circumference of the softbox to light her up. So it means I'm using more light, and then I'm also going to be able to get more of a wrap around. If I also want to use this light, you know, and still have a bit of opening in the shadows, I can add in a reflector. So we'll do that next after I take this test shot. Now that I'm using the edge of the softbox to light her up, you can immediately tell that we have more light wrapping around and opening up the shadows. And just by moving the light, you can see that now we don't have it spilling onto the backdrop anymore, and we just have this beautiful light on her. And if we want to do anything else to it, maybe it's just about moving it closer, because the closer it gets, the bigger it is and the softer it would be. So I think that's what I'll do next. I'll just bring it in a little more, and also bring it forward just a little bit. So that now it's almost like the edge of it is where she is. And then we have all of this going to be wrapping around. Now the advantage with having all of this spill light is if you put a reflector on this side, you can bounce this light back onto her and then open up the shadows. I'm also going to introduce a bounce board or reflector. And the distance between the reflector and the model is also very, very important. You need to be very precise when doing tasks like this, especially since we're only modifying just one light, which is coming from the Neewer Q6. Now these reflectors come in handy because they are very, very cheap. And I think this is a 5-in-1. So it has a gold, as you can see on the side, it has a white, and then you have a silver and a black. So you can use the silver if you want to bounce a stronger amount of light back onto your subject. But I'm using the white because I want to keep everything soft. I want the bounce that's going to open up the shadows to be soft and almost not like present in your face, so that we don't have a bit of like cross lighting going on. Now that we've added our reflector and using the white side, let me just take another test and see what we're doing again. Comparing the image without the reflector to the one with it, you can see that the reflector is bouncing a lot of light back. We're losing the shape due to the lack of shadow, which also decreases the image's definition in my opinion. So I'm gonna move this back even more because I kind of like the shape that the shadow was creating. I just didn't want it to be as dark as it was. Okay, so by moving the reflector back, you can see we've brought back some of the shadow, and this I think is looking really, really good. This is how I imagined it to look. What I want to do next is just fix up the drapery and then maybe add a hair light. I'll show you what that does as well, and then we can begin shooting with Kanye. Now that I've settled on where I want my reflector to be and also put my main light where I want it to be, I've also just restyled the fabric a bit. It's just fabric that we draped on here to create this dress because I feel like it just adds the whole painterly vibe. And then we added some earrings, just to spice things up, and some accessories as well. Everything is in a gold tone, so we're playing with like warm tones. But in the background, it's a little bit greenish, but because a lot of light isn't reaching it, it's going dark, and I think it's just helping her pop. But to make her pop even more, I think I'm going to add a bit of a hair light. So what I'm going to do is use an LED, and I'm going to put that in the frame, just boomed over her head, just to add a bit of separation. So usually what hair lights do is just add a bit of separation, as I mentioned earlier. And well, I know you've been hearing separation, 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 but what does it actually mean? Or what does it actually do? So you'd see that because she has black hair and the backdrop is also going dark, those colors are really close, so there isn't enough separation between her hair and the backdrop. But the moment we add light to it, we're changing the value of the hair. So that is going to, the value in terms of lighting, so that is actually going to add a bit of illumination to it and then just help her glow a little bit more and also get separated from the backdrop. So I don't know if the power is enough, but as you can see, the top of her head already is looking bright and I really like where it is. But after introducing the edge light, I didn't like how the light was just hitting the top of her head. So I decided to angle it to add light to her head and shoulders. And to me, this looked better as it really gave me that extra pop. So I'm going to maybe move it back a bit and come down slightly and then aim for her hair and shoulder area. So hopefully somewhere here should work. And also warm it up some more. So this is a bicolor light, so you're able to do stuff like that. And yeah, I think I like where the light is hitting. I like the intensity, I like the color of it. And now all I have to do is just capture more shots of Kanye's. If you got value out of this video, let me know in the comments down below. And if you want to see more videos like this, let me know as well. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and I'll see you guys in the next one.